our mental health, and it affects our ability to cope with stress, overcoming challenge, building relationship, and recovering from life's setbacks. There are many types of way to build up positive mental health. One is creating healthy routine. For COVID-19, we also lost our daily routine because before the COVID-19, I used to many works, but now we are free, so we are lost our many daily routine. But it is necessary for everyone to create a healthy routine in COVID-19. And second is connection with connecting with other. We are getting more time, free time, so it is the best time to build up our relation with our mothers, our child, brother, sister. Because for business, sometimes many people cannot give the time their relatives and others. So it is the good opportunity to build up our relation with our hello. And second is eliminate toxic influencer and supporting to others. uh, that's that's all my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Miraz. And I would like to invite Dr. Pragya. Dr. Pragya, present your presentation.
Hello. Hello. Yes, ma'am.
Now
Hello.
continue your presentation.
Just a minute.
शेयर हो रही है.
हेलो.
Yes, continue यार.
मैम मेरी प्रेजेंटेशन शेयर किया है मैंने, आप देख सकती हैं.
जी जी बिल्कुल, कंटिन्यू कीजिए.
पूछो, आप पूछो. दिख रही है?
क्या मेरी प्रेजेंटेशन दिखाई दे रही है आपको अब?
जी हाँ, आपकी प्रेजेंटेशन स्टार्ट हो गई है, आप अपनी बात स्टार्ट कर सकती हैं.
स्टार्ट हो गई है.
हाँ.
I am Dr. Pragya Sharma, PDF scholar, Dev Sanskrit University, Haridwar. I am here I am presenting my research, and topic is systematic review of psycho-spiritual intervention and psychological resilience in juvenile delinquents. The deviant behavior of children has created problems from time immemorial, and what has transformed is only the nature and definition of undesirable behavior. As per the Juvenile Justice Act 2015 passed by the Parliament of India on 7th May 2015, 16-year-olds are considered as juvenile delinquent in extreme crimes in India. Crime by juvenile is a harsh reality in India. In recent times, juvenile were found to be involved in most heinous of the crimes such as murder and gang rape. ये कुछ ग्राफ हैं और कुछ टेबल हैं जो ये बताती है कि 2001 से 2015 तक इंडिया में जुवेनाइल डेलिक्वेंसी किस हद तक बढ़ी है और कौन-कौन से एरिया में सबसे ज्यादा हुई है. ये ग्राफ है. Protective factors. More recently, research has commenced to focus on those individual factors that help young people abstain from offending. In such type of researches, individuals who cease offending after a period of criminal engagement were involved, and as a conclusion, few protective factors were identified. Protective factor means a factor whose presence is associated with increased protection from offending. Psychological resilience is considered as one of those protective factors. Resilience is a widely studied concept. Resilience is ऐसी ability है जो हमें विषम परिस्थितियों से, प्रतिकूल परिस्थितियों से कोप अप करने में या उनसे लड़ने में बहुत ज़्यादा हेल्पफुल है, और यही मेरे रिसर्च का मेन वेरिएबल है. In this systematic review, I have reviewed 25 research aids consisting psycho-spiritual intervention as a modality for building psychological resilience. Out of 25, few of them are randomized control trials. Some researches are reviewed papers. Few of them are empirical papers, etc. साइको-स्पिरिचुअल इंटरवेंशन, हम देखते हैं कि मेंटल प्रॉब्लम्स को सुधारने के लिए, उनसे कोप अप करने के लिए बहुत सारी साइकोथेरेपीज हम अभी भी काउंसलर के द्वारा, साइकोथेरेपिस्ट के द्वारा यूज की जाती है, लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं एक पार्ट स्पिरिचुअलिटी का भी बहुत पिछड़ा हुआ है, मेरा मानना है। और बहुत सारी रिसर्चेस भी ये शो करती हैं कि यदि हम साइकोथेरेपी के साथ में स्पिरिचुअल टेक्निक को, इंडिजिनस टेक्निक को यूज करते हैं तो बहुत हद तक रेजिलियंस को बिल्ड किया जा सकता है, बहुत सारी परेशानियों से, जुवेनाइल डेलिक्वेंसी को बचाए, बहुत सारी परेशानियों से बच्चों को बाहर निकाला जा सकता है, और हर तरीके की प्रॉब्लम इस साइको स्पिरिचुअल इंटरवेंशन के थ्रू दूर की जा सकती है, इम्प्रूव की जा सकती है। In 2012, Smith and his co-researchers reviewed the research and conclude that healthy spirituality may be related to increases in both resilience and positive emotions, and that resilience and positive emotions may have a reciprocal influence on each other. The present qualitative research is an effort to review systematically the previous researches on psycho-spiritual intervention in promoting the resilience in juvenile delinquents. कुछ ऐसे इंटरवेंशन हैं जैसे कॉग्निटिव बिहेवियरल थेरेपी। कॉग्निटिव रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग नेगेटिव थॉट्स को पॉजिटिव थॉट्स में चेंज करने की एक टेक्निक है, जिसमें उसके पेशेंट के या क्लाइंट के कॉग्निटिव एंड बिहेवियर को सुधारा जा सकता है, उनके सोचने का तरीका बदला जा सकता है। Mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness meditation is the psychological process of bringing one's attention to experiences occurring in the present moment, which can be developed through the practice of meditation. Mindfulness cognitive behavior therapy is being completely aware of the full range of experiences that exist in the here and now. Mindfulness meditation has the potential to be an essential tool in an adolescent struggle beside stress, and also may have positive developmental effects. माइंडफुलनेस मेडिटेशन से भी रिलेटेड बहुत सारे ऐसे रिसर्चेस हुई हैं जो रेजिलियंस को जुवेनाइल डेलिक्वेंसी में बढ़ाती हैं, उन्हें इम्प्रूव करती है। एंड लास्ट, गायत्री मंत्र लेखन। गायत्री मंत्र लेखन के बारे में बताना चाहूंगी कि गायत्री मंत्र लेखन का जब हम उच्चारण करते हैं, मंत्र का उच्चारण करते हैं, तब उसमें जो धी वर्ड अक्षर आता है, धी अक्षर का अर्थ ही विवेक से है। यदि हम अपने किसी काम में या किसी भी प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करने के लिए गायत्री मंत्र का उच्चारण करते हैं तो धी शक्ति, जो विवेक की शक्ति है, वो हमारे अंदर जागृत होती है, और ये हमें बताती है, या हमारे अंदर ये भाव आते हैं कि हमें कोई भी डिसीजन विवेकपूर्ण होकर लेना है। तो मुझे लगता है, और इस तरीके की बहुत सारी रिसर्च से बताती है कि स्पिरिचुअल टेक्निक्स जिनमें मंत्र, इनका बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंस है, और कहीं बहुत ज्यादा हद तक हम रेजिलियंस को गायत्री मंत्र के द्वारा सुधार सकते हैं, बढ़ा सकते हैं। यहाँ गायत्री मंत्र लेखन हमने इसलिए लिया है, या उससे रिलेटेड रिसर्चेस हमने देखी है कि गायत्री मंत्र लेखन में हमारे बहुत सारी इंद्रियां काम करती है, जैसे हम आंख, हमारे हाथ, हमारा जो कंसंट्रेशन है वो पूरी तरीके, हमारे हाथ भी, हमारा कंसंट्रेशन पूरी तरीके से मंत्र लेखन के साथ जुड़ा हुआ है। तो हमारी सभी इंद्रियां इस मंत्र लेखन के साथ जुड़े होने के कारण रेजिलियंस पे ज्यादा इफेक्ट देख सकते हैं। नेक्स्ट, रिसर्चेस रिलेटेड टू रेजिलियंस एंड साइको स्पिरिचुअल इंटरवेंशन। कम समय होने की वजह से मैंने बहुत ही कम रिसर्चेस इस स्लाइड प्रेजेंटेशन में कोट की है। उसमें कुछ रिसर्चेस ऐसी हैं जिसमें रेजिलियंस इंपॉर्टेंट टू द जुवेनाइल जस्टिस सिस्टम इन ऑर्डर टू फाइंड वेज टू रिड्यूस रेसिडिविज्म rates and reduce overall delinquent behavior. Reid studied that early delinquents who begin crime from before the age of 15 have many problems that can be detected as early as preschool. इस रिसर्च में रेड 2013 में उन्होंने स्टडी करके बताया कि रेजिलियंस जो है वो सेल्फ कंट्रोल इज अ प्रिंसिपल एलिमेंट ऑफ साइकोलॉजिकल रेजिलियंस। या मतलब कहीं ना कहीं अगर हम रेजिलियंस को बढ़ाते हैं तो व्यक्ति में सेल्फ कंट्रोल की जो भावना है, सेल्फ कंट्रोल अपने आप इम्प्रूव होने लगता है। कैले, अलेक्जेंडर एंड फ्रांस्की 2017 में यह एग्जामाइन किया कि कुछ स्पिरिचुअल प्रिंसिपल्स को जब उन्होंने 45 चिल्ड्रंस पे और 26 हाई रिस्क एडोलसेंट पे अप्लाई किया तो उन्होंने पाया, उनके रिजल्ट ही बताते हैं कि कंपेयर टू देयर कंट्रोल ग्रुप, चिल्ड्रन एंड एडोलसेंट एक्सपोज्ड टू 3 प्रिंसिपल्स रिपोर्टेड अ सिग्निफिकेंट इंप्रूवमेंट इन रेजिलियंस। इसी के साथ हम आगे देखते हैं कि सीना एंड रविंद्र नंदन 2016 में उन्होंने एक रिसर्च कंडक्ट की। उन्होंने साइको स्पिरिचुअल इंटरवेंशन को इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस एंड साइकोलॉजिकल रेजिलियंस को पर इसका इफेक्ट देखा जुवेनाइल डेलिक्वेंट्स में, और उन्होंने ये बताया कि spiritual augmented psychotherapeutic training program is highly effective in increasing the psychological resilience and emotional intelligence among juvenile delinquents. इसी तरह लॉलर 2010 और उनके साथियों ने इन्वेस्टिगेट किया कि माइंडफुलनेस मेडिटेशन भी बहुत हद तक रेजिलियंस को बढ़ाने में और जुवेनाइल डेलिक्वेंट्स में एक ऑप्टिमिस्टिक लेवल को बढ़ाने में हेल्पफुल है। कंक्लूजन में मैं अपने इस प्रेजेंटेशन को इस तरह कंक्लूड करना चाहूंगी कि जुवेनाइल डेलिक्वेंसी नीड्स ग्रेटेस्ट कंसर्न इन द मेंटेनेंस ऑफ सोशल एंड कल्चरल सिस्टम ऑफ एनी कंट्री, yet there is limited study has been conducted examining juvenile delinquency from the viewpoint of spiritual psychology. As per the discussion, this study may be a guide to psychological counselor, psychotherapists and social workers interested in this issue. Thank you so much.
थैंक यू डॉक्टर प्रज्ञा। अब मैं आमंत्रित करना चाहूंगी मिस राघावी को कि वो अपने प्रेजेंटेशन प्रेजेंट करें। मिस राघावी, और इनके बाद मिस्टर विवेक नेगी केस स्टडी के लिए तैयार रहेंगे। मिस राघावी, कंटिन्यू योर प्रेजेंटेशन। Miss Raghavi, are you listening? Hello? Miss Raghavi?
Next, please.
नेक्स्ट मिस्टर विवेक नेगी जी, आप अपनी केस स्टडी कंटिन्यू कर सकते हैं। मिस्टर विवेक नेगी, क्या आप सुन पा रहे हैं?
I think वो भी नहीं है।
Oh.
Next, please.
And then Miss Aditi, I would like to invite Miss Aditi for poster presentation. Miss Aditi, are you listening me?
Yes, ma'am, I can listen you.
Yes, continue with your poster presentation.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I wanted to share my screen and it's not available here.
Just a minute.
The screen share.
No problem. I am going to share your poster. You can continue your talk.
Okay. So, good evening and Jai Hind to one and all present over here. I am Aditi Abhi from Sunbeam School, Mughal Sarai. It's a golden opportunity for me to represent my poster at such a great platform. Before starting, I would like to wish everyone a very happy Guru Purnima. As everyone knows that whenever we walk with the Guru in the light of existence, away from the darkness. So today the topic I have chose for my poster is Eastern approaches for the mental health. Eastern approach includes the yoga, Ayurveda, spiritualism, Indian music, Indian art, and many more things. It emphasizes and focuses on the body's natural healing system and allows the person to be in charge of its own state of mind and the feelings. It helps them control their thoughts. It is even said that the practical usage of Eastern approach is really very useful and effective. I personally think that Eastern approach is rooted in the integration of mind, body, and energy. Eastern approach may take some time to stable a person's mind or state of mind, and when compared to the Western approaches, it follows the quick fix method using the medical approach. But it could be harmful for the person on which the therapy is being done. This subject could have some negative effects or side effects in the future perspective. Eastern approach, when compared, has really long-term benefits. When Eastern approach has long-term benefits, it allows the person to have and save the originality in them. It uses the natural healing. It uses the natural healing to treat the person suffering from any kind of issue. It returns the gentleness and self-compassion as a foundation of future changes so that the balance could even be restored. Amongst the integrative approach, yoga and mindfulness even treats the addiction and have been proved as the potential complementary therapy. The therapeutic effect of yoga and meditation are widely studied concerning in multitudes of various elements condition, including very common symptoms of anxiety, depression, incomplete sleep, and many other mental health disorders or issues faced by people in a regular basis. It is considered to be the best therapeutic treatment for a person's health condition, no matter it be the physical health or the mental health. For example, we can take the breathing exercise or the breathing techniques used in yoga. It helps the mind to concentrate at a particular point, and a person who is good at concentration, a person whose mind is really calm and is able to concentrate, is able to control their thoughts and feelings, is a person really confident about everything. And a confident person usually do not face any kind of mental issues. Every person has some mental issues, but the person with a better mental abilities, with good concentration and everything, faces it comparatively really less. So I believe that the Eastern approach is really very helpful for the mental health. I hope you guys have a really nice day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Aditi. Thank you so much. And now, lastly, I would like to call Miss Raghavi. Miss Raghavi, are you listening me? Unmute yourself and continue your presentation, Miss Raghavi.
Yes, hello, Aarti di.
जी भैया प्रणाम.
She is not able to present because her mic is not working. So let me present, right?
Okay, okay.
I am going to present.
Your presentation.
Yes, yes. Yes, I have that. I am trying that. No? Maybe. If Dr. Piyush sir, please, can you share that so that I can? I have sent just PDF.
Yes, will you please continue? I'm going to present.
Right, thank you. आप सभी को गुरु पूर्णिमा की हार्दिक शुभकामना and we'd welcome one and all present over here. On behalf of Raghavi, I guided her this presentation, and I am going to now present this because she is not able to present. So the topic of my presentation is Eastern and Western therapeutic approaches for internet addiction disorder. And as you know, internet addiction disorder is now a very burning, challenging, disorder because the whole world is using internet. So abstract. The objective of this study is to integrate the different approaches of the East and West for the treatment of internet addiction disorder. While going through this study, one would come across the basic information about the internet addiction disorder, its symptoms, signs, the various uh, determines consequences it provides, and the numerous disorders which are associated with this disorder. The graphs which have been used in this study would brings one attention the statistical data regarding internet addiction disorder. For therapeutic approaches, we have the Eastern and the Western techniques like therapeutic yoga and mindfulness, meditation and psychosocial treatment and medication respectively. So, introduction. Internet addiction disorder is also known as the problematic internet use or pathological internet use is generally defined as problematic compulsive use of the internet that result in significant impairment in an individual. So finally, we can say that internet addiction disorder is becoming widely recognized and acknowledged, particularly in those countries where it is affecting large number of people. Internet addiction disorder is not yet an officially recognized mental disorder. Researchers have formulated diagnostic criteria for this internet addiction that such disorders can be diagnosed when an individual engages in online activities at the cost of fulfilling daily responsibility of pursuing other interests and without regard of for the negative consequences, but it is still not included in DSM-5. However, WHO, the related diagnosis gaming disorder has been included in the ICD-11. So it is included in ICD-11. There are the last three types of internet addiction which has been identified. First one is video gaming addiction. Second is online sex addiction. Third one is online gambling addiction. So what is the causes behind this? Because there are several causes that play a role, that including underlying mental health conditions, anxiety, depression, genetics maybe causes may be there, environmental factors may be there, and components of internet addiction. Excessive use of internet, that may be a component, and symptoms. Withdrawal symptoms will be there, tolerance, maybe lack of tolerance will be there, negative perceptions may be there. Now symptoms. Behavioral symptoms of internet addiction is no longer engaging in activity that were once enjoyed, spending most waking hours online, anger or agitation if you are asked to step away from your device, lying about your internet use, concealing your internet use, fatigue, insomnia, digestive problems. These are the symptoms. And some social symptoms: irritable mood, social isolation, strained interpersonal relationships, academic difficulty. Some mental symptoms of internet addiction is poor concentration capabilities, trouble distinguish reality from fantasy, memory impairment. These are the mental symptoms. So disorders associated with internet addiction, that may be online gambling addiction, communication addiction disorder, virtual reality addiction. Some statistics are here. So 2.7% population is having severe addiction, and these are some countries who live without the there is no condition of use. So India is the topmost country, and the percentage of this country is 82%. Hello, 82%. So what is the therapeutic approach? Therapeutic approach, we have integrated here Western and Eastern both approach, and according to Western therapeutic approaches, first one is psychosocial treatment. As you know, there is a cognitive behavior therapy, motivational interviewing. These are the Western approach. And the Eastern approach, medication is also Western approach, and according to Eastern therapeutic approach, there is a therapeutic yoga. And yoga and meditation are the two of the most beneficial Eastern therapy for curing internet addiction disorder. And second one is mindfulness meditation. This is also already explained by so many speakers. So this is also very authentic. So finally, in conclusion, we can conclude that both the approaches, Eastern and Western, are very effective, authentic, and significant role. And this can be eliminate, or you can approve the wishes to apply in the life and eliminate the sufferings through internet addiction. Thank you very much for giving this chance of presentation. Thank you, Dr. Piyushi, and all department of members of Scientific Spirituality and Dev Sanskrit Vishyavidhalaya. Thanks again. Thank you.
Thank you, Navneet sir. And last, I would like to invite Dr. Piyush, our HODs and our organizer, now planner this event, for vote of the thanks. Please, Dr. Piyush sir, join us. Dr. Piyush sir, are you listening?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
First of all, I'm highly thankful to our Guru Satta Pandit Sri Ram Sharma Acharya. From his literature, we got such ideas for this webinar and other things. Second, Chancellor Sir, Dr. Pranay Pandya Sir, Vice Chancellor Sir, Sarat Parthi Sir, Pro Vice Chancellor Sir, Dr. Chinmay Pandya Sir, and office staff of Pro Vice Chancellor Sir, Sri Jholan Bhavsardi, for live streaming of this webinar, Amrit Sahuji. We are also highly thankful to our invited speakers for accepting our invitation and sparing from their valuable time for the webinar. We are thankful to Dr. Kiran Kumar Sir, Dr. Sandeep Kumar Sir, Ulrich Berg Sir, Dr. Pradeep Singh Dagur Sir, Barry Ratner Sir, Benjamin Barwing Sir. We are also thankful to our paper presenters, Anurag, Mohammad Miraj, Dr. Pragya Sharma, Navneet Singh. I am highly thankful to Dr. Harsha, Dr. Aarti, Dr. Rajeshwari, and all other people held in this event. Though it seems very easy to organize, but our team worked very hard, and we could succeed in our aims. Again, I am very thankful to all of you. Thank you very much for joining. In future, we will work together, definitely, and thanks to all. Thank you.
बहुत अधिक समय ले लिया सभी के पेशेंस के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, आभार व्यक्त करती हूँ पूरे विश्वविद्यालय टीम की ओर से। अब अंत में सभी से अनुरोध, एक साथ एक स्वर में शांति पाठ करें। ओम द्यौ शांति अंतरिक्षद्वं शांति पृथ्वी शांतिरापः शांतिरोषधयः शांति वनस्पतयः शांतिर्विश्वे देवा शांतिर्ब्रह्म शांति सर्वद्वं शांति शांतिरेव शांति कामा शांतिरेधि ओम शांति 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 सर्वारिष्ट शांतिर्भवतु। सभी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।